Okay, let's drag him back to where he started. He's going to wander up the screen again, so stop the script. Okay, let's see if I can explain what's got to happen here. If he's moving up, okay, so I'm moving him up now, and he's not touching anything, any of the maze, then that's okay, just keep moving him up. However, if we get to the point where he's moving up and he's touching the maze, what we want to do is just bounce him off a little bit, because he might still be on the maze, and then we'll have a little bit of a problem with him just bouncing around there. So if he's touching the maze, moving up and touching the maze, we want to change his direction to down, bounce him off a little bit, and then keep moving him down. And if he's not touching the maze, he just keeps moving down until he hits the maze at the bottom. If he's touching the maze at the bottom, we need to change his direction to up and move him away from the edge just a little bit, otherwise he'll keep flipping around, and then he'll move in the up direction. So that's what we're trying to achieve with him. So let's see if we can have a go at that one. So if I got when clicked, and while the game is running, let's see if we can do a couple of if blocks. We may change what we do. Now I've got to check a couple of things. I've got to check if he's moving in a direction and he is touching the maze. In the operators, I've got an and. Okay, something that checks two things, and when they're both true, then whatever's inside here will work. So I'm going to place that in there, and if these two things are both true, inside here operates. So if he's moving up and touching the maze, then we want to send him in a downwards direction. So let's see if we can handle that one. So the problem is we can't just say moving equals up. There's nothing there. We have to use another operator. If you remember, we used here the equal sign. We're going to use the equal sign again, which fits the correct shape for that little gap there. So if, let's go and get it, moving equals up, okay, I can put that in my and the other thing that we needed was sensing. If he's touching the maze, okay, then we need to do whatever's inside here. And at the moment, I'm just going to leave that blank because I'm going to do this second one first. And really, I'm just going to duplicate that and change if he's moving down and touching the maze. So that was quite easy to change. So I've got to think what I need to do. So if he is moving up and touching the maze, I've got to change the values in here. So what do I need to do? I need to set moving to down, and if you remember, I said I need to bounce him a little bit off the edge there. So if I go to motion and I'm in the Y direction, change Y by, now to bounce down about 10, if I just put a minus in there, that will do the trick. So there's my first one. If he's moving down and he's touching the maze, I've got to do the opposite. So I've got to set moving to up. So I've got to change the direction he's going. Set moving to up. Okay, and then I've got to bounce him a little bit away from the edge. So I've got to change the Y by 10. Okay, so that looks quite neat, and I think I can place that in there, and let's see what happens when I run my game now. So he's going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, hits the maze, bounces and comes down. Maybe that bounce is a little large. Yeah, we could probably choose a smaller value for that, but just to make sure that he's off the edge. So let me stop the script And let's put that as -5 and that one at 5, so he doesn't bounce so far. A quick run to check. There we go. Still a little bit quick. Maybe because sometimes what happens is that the sprite goes into, if you look at the bottom, the sprite will go into the pink. So we've got to bounce him at least that far out of the way. So if I try reducing that to -2 and 2, hopefully that will have the effect. Whoa, 25, that's not good, that will make him go too fast. Okay, that seems to be working fine. Let's just run it once more. Start it up again. It's going up. Going to bounce by 2. Yeah. So that will give Mario a little challenge to actually get through him. But at the moment, if I run my Mario down to this place, it really doesn't matter whether he's there or not. Mario will run straight through him. There we go. So I've got to manage that action when Mario touches my enemy. So we'll look at that and other things in the next video. Let me just stop this first and move on.